Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is time for the SEA Open Team League Season 2 semi-finals. I don't like long intros. I know you guys don't either. So, guess what? We're just gonna hop right in the game and get here for what you guys came for. Today, we have SYF Gaming versus 1F Pro. And then later on, Bear Me versus Varun. But to start off our night, we've got these two lovely Zerg players starting things off on Catalyst. So down here in the bottom position, it is yours. It's because he does not belong to me, he belongs to all of you lovely people out there in the world today. And his opponent, his color is matching. And so is his skill. It is the infamous SYF Gaming Crimson. An epic ZVZ to start off our night for this semi-final all-kill match between 1F Pro and SYF Gaming. Two amazing teams, and you'll be seeing them a little bit later once Pro League starts for this region. So it's best if you guys remember what you see here today, because you're going to be seeing a lot of these guys in the coming months once that begins. So to start things out, we have extractors going down for both players with a spawning pool after that hatch. So pretty safe standard builds here out of both sides. Neither side really wanting to show their hand that early. Instead going to go for a little bit of a macro opening here, maybe get a little bit of aggression going with some lings later on, but not at this time. So while we're waiting for this game to get underway, I'm just going to let you guys know a couple of things have changed from the original format, which was one game per player. This is an all kill, which means that if you win, you will continue on against the next player that the opponent chooses. The maps are predetermined. We have them listed on the screen, and they will be shown at the end of every single game with an updated scoreboard so you guys can follow along if you're just tuning in. And on top of that, everything should go as planned, as we have two double headers going on tonight. Second games will start at 8:30 Singapore time, which is approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes after this one. So let's see if we can get some epic, exciting games out of these guys. Going for a quick third is Crimson, so he's definitely looking for that economic opening. Going to try get some damage is yours, and he's going to move across the map, see that this space is undefended for the moment, and is just going to start poking down on it for right now. Behind us we do have that Bailey nest going down. Without the additional lings coming out, you can only assume that this is a bit of a defensive choice here from yours. Instead, just going to try and cancel this third hatch, but Crimson is in position. Although he is taking a lot of damage on his lings for the time being. Yours may actually get this here in a second. It looks like he does get it. No cancel, so that is 300 minerals wasted for Crimson there. And yours should be just happy enough to back off for the moment, wait for his reinforcements, and that actually signals him to smell blood in the water. Looks like 14 lings on the way, with a couple of banelings as well, morphing in. Crimson going to try and do some counter damage, but he is caught out on the map. So an excellent start here for yours. He's really looking to get some dominance in this game early on. So we do see Crimson is a bit of a forced reaction here. Going to try and make enough lings to defend against this kind of aggression. Even looking to just catch some of the reinforcements here. The banelings just waddling across the map here. If Crimson wasn't paying attention, that would be an epic fight. So one baneling going to get cancelled here. And yeah, yours is just going to move in here. Get a couple of queens. Get a bunch of the drones so far. Good spread out of Crimson so far, but overall, this is just really good for yours. is up 20, over 20 supply, 12, 13 workers going down, and GG is actually just called right there. So a dominant, exciting first game here from our 1F Pro team, and yours will be moving on to the next round. Also, a Scarecrow, I do not do nudes just yet. I have to wait for about 500 followers before I can do nudes. Either that or a partnership status. Either one. But that is a dominant first game out of our Zerg player from 1F Pro Gaming, showing why they want to be the top dog in the region. And now it is up to SYF to decide who can go up against such an epic player. The next map in this pool is going to be Odyssey, an old classic from last season, from the last patch, and from a bygone era, it seems like. If you guys remember, the patch just went live this Tuesday, making everything free to play, making everything new and exciting, and making everything broken once again. That's SC2 for you, and that's the best way to go about it. Just break everything and build it back up from the beginning. We have to decide who is coming out here for SYF. Insano, I believe, is in charge of that. But yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, we don't actually have a lineup here for tonight, just because of that little stipulation that the winner goes on, and we don't know who's going to win. We don't know. But looks like I'm just trying to fix up some disconnects here. Unfortunately, we are having a little bit of technical issues. We apologize for them, but Blizzard servers have been a little bit weird for the North American region. Basically what's been happening is just random disconnects. Everything was working fine yesterday, but I'm sure Blizzard is hard at work trying to get that fixed up. And it looks like the next player for SYF is going to be Mighty Kiwi, an amazing Terran player hailing from New Zealand, hence the name. And this guy has been a dominant Terran slash Zerg. I'm forgetting my players here. No, Mighty Kiwi is a Zerg player. So we got one more ZVZ coming up for you. This region's a bit ZVZ heavy, just because it is. Oh. Hang on. Okay, but we are going to be hopping into this Odyssey map, and this is quite the ZVZ map, I must say. That addition of a fourth base, which possibly could be that little bit of gold base, you know? It is a bit popular with the Zergs to go for a gold base, get those lings out, or by the time you get that out, might have a lot of mineral needs, actually. But without further ado, he's one game up. He's looking to get that all kill. It is not mine, but yours. And his opponent, he's looking to bring the hype, bring the chill, bring everything that you need for an epic game of StarCraft. It's Mighty Kiwi with the cheddar. This is something I love. He's just going to try and usurp the king with a little bit of his own creativity, aka cheese your opponent until he doesn't know which way is up and which way is down. Yours, having no idea this is coming, is going to be going for something very similar to the last game. Going to try and get that extractor up in a second here, get that spawning pool as well to defend. But there we go, we see the extractor, we see the spawning pool going down roughly around the same time as last game. But this is not an all-in by any means out of Mighty Kiwi. He's got that second hatch coming up, so he is just looking to transition. Maybe going to do a lot of damage here with this first 8 lings. Going to try and cancel that second hatch and get into a much better position for the mid to late game. Yours does spot this, but there's not really much you can do here until that spawning pool is complete. So here we go. Yours, a bit of a preemptive pool here. You really shouldn't be doing that until they get a little bit closer, but here we go. He's going to prevent Mighty Kiwi from getting anywhere near that hatchery. He does not even want to get a scratch on that brand new ride of his. And the dance of the drones has begun. Neither side really looking to take the engagement, but the first scratch has been made. Resale value has gone down through the floor. And it does now look like Yours will have enough to defend this. He really needs to send those drones back to mining, otherwise he's going to be in a world of hurt here in a minute. Some decent engagements here from Mighty Kiwi, just shaving off a couple of lings here and there. Trying to catch a few off guard, but even going to get a surround on the queen. That is 150 minerals wasted if he gets that, and he does not. The queen lives. There is no regicide today. But with that, it is a successful hold, and now Yours is going to be looking to put on a little bit of pressure on his own, forcing his opponent to respond with even more lings when his worker count is just actually much higher. It's one thing you really don't understand here. Excuse me. It's really fun to see when the cheesing player actually has a better economy just because he does not overcommit to his aggression. But Yours gonna come in here, wants to get out of range of that spawning pool, or spine crawler rather. He can get in the spawning pool whenever the heck he wants. It doesn't shoot back. But just little ling engagements here. Yours really was not able to get any damage done just because Mighty Kiwi did have that good reactionary timings, made sure that everything was good, and even just going to transition into that second stage of the game with that Baneling Nest might be looking to put a little bit more pressure on if he makes any more lings with a very, very late metabolic boost. But on the other side of the map, Yours feels confident enough to get that Roach Warren, to get that wall up, gonna get that layer as well so that he can possibly get speed timing. And it does look like he will be safe from any sort of aggression here that has to do with Ling or Bane. Roaches are just so tanky that you can't really do a lot of damage unless you get a full surround off with upgrades. And it's gonna be tough with that full wall off. Mighty also looking to take that third base. That's a very nice little lead for him there. He wants to make sure that he can stay ahead in the economy game. Something that's very hard to do in mirror matchups just because the amount of aggression can sometimes just be through the roof as you try and get a little bit of advantage here and there with your little pokes. But first Roach is on the way, and we have successfully transitioned, guys. It's everyone's favorite part of a ZVZ. It's the Roach War time. We'll have to see which player can get the better concave, get the better engagement. Because unless you're trading way more than evenly, you are not going to do that well, and you are not going to be able to close out a game anytime soon. And just canceling the hatch for a second there, Yours has to realize that is happening, and he does. Full scout out. So while Yours is a little bit behind in a couple of respects, he's still able to know what his opponent is doing, and that scouting information can be very important in this stage of the game. Mighty still has information on when his opponent's moving out, so that's always good to have, but just knowing what your opponent has more so in the main base is much more important. Small poke gonna come out here. There is enough roaches to defend, it looks like, with a spine crawler as backup, so it does look like yours will have to back up here. And now we just kind of see little moves like this. Mighty Kiwi once again gonna try and cancel that third base like yours did in the last game. Well, this small engagement is going to be happening here. Relatively even army supply. There is a +1 advantage for yours, but it's just pure numbers from Mighty that's winning him these engagements. Not much else to say at this point, you know. We're going to be seeing little pokes here and there from both players, making sure that everything is going their way. Even just denying mining at this third base is very nice for Mighty Kiwi. Gonna make sure that he stays ahead in the economy. Even forcing yours back for a little bit to deal with this. It definitely doesn't need to do this, but it does look like he was gonna come back anyway, you know. He realizes he can't get too much done and is just backing off. Mighty gonna shave off a couple of units here and there to prepare for harassment later on. And this is kind of Mighty Kiwi's strength. He's very good at picking you apart just through his multitasking, just through these little pickoffs, these little run-bys with his units. It's one of his big strengths, I feel. Seen him doing a bunch in a couple of the different leagues I've seen him in. And yeah, even just going up to Fast Hive as well with Burrow, with Tunneling Claws, I believe. No, he does not have Tunneling Claws, so that Burrow may be for some other particular purpose. Probably Infestors, if we're being completely honest, but it does look like yours is staying ahead in the upgrade count with the Carapace upgrade coming in, with the OVs, so he doesn't get supply blocked again. And he's starting to get picked off across the map with a lot of his vision, so that's hurting him a little bit, as it does force him to get more overlords out on the map to see what's going on. This guy is so lucky. He's pretty much just acting natural, hoping that nobody knows that it's him. But we do see yours getting into a really good position. Mighty Kiwi might actually just get caught off guard here. A great engagement for yours, and he's going to take a very nice engagement here. Carapace did finish up, so he has a nice upgrade lead. And Mighty has been completely zoned out of his own main base. Roach Warren going down, so yours just taking a huge lead. 4 roaches doing a lot of damage on the other side of the map, but all the tech is now gone. Defender's advantage might help out a bit as the concave starts to turn into his favor, but that upgrade is just amazing as the drones are pulled. So yours at 104 army count, he's just looking to end the game right now, and it looks like he just has enough to do it. Yours is looking to all kill SYF just by himself. GG is called. We're just going on the third base here. It's all a matter of time. And there you have it. Yours taking a dominant 2-0 lead over SYF Gaming in this best of 7 match. Now I do need a second, guys. Sorry about this. Uh, but again, we've been having some issues with disconnects, and it does look like I am a victim of said disconnects. I'm wondering if any of the players are having this issue as well. But thank you guys for tuning in so far. Yours obviously showing a very dominant performance. And we can only wonder what he's going to do in the third game versus his next opponent, who will be decided by SYF. Let's update the score here while we're waiting. And we're just going to hop right back into it, guys. The next map is Ascension to Ire, another classic map that made its way into our hearts. Ooh, this is a good one, guys. We have the third most powerful Terran in Australia. It is SYF Gaming's Hut. Hut, if you guys don't know, is one of the most powerful Terran players that this world has ever seen. He's been making a name for himself in the region and looking to expand his influence across the globe, making sure that everyone knows the power of him and Insano's team, SYF Gaming. So we'll have to see if yours can stand up to the pressure. Yours obviously very powerful, both on ladder and in these cups. He's really dominant in the region as well. I mean, pretty much everyone you see here is very dominant in this region. These guys are the top of the line, best players that you can see. As it is the semifinals, these guys are definitely looking to finish things up, get into the final game, and get that full grand prize. While we do have a second here, I would like to remind you guys that we do have an excellent team going on here for the Southeast Asia Open Team League. And if you guys want to help out, we have a great way for you to do that. We have rotating Matcherino prize pools, as you can see on the side of the screen. It's kind of hard to see. I'm kind of looking at my second monitor a lot, trying to get that. But just about there, we have a Matcherino page. That little code right there will get you in. If you want to help out, just type in !Matcherino in the chat, and it will guide you to the page. I'm actually gonna pull that up right now, kind of show you guys what's what. As I continue to disconnect. But basically what happens is if you go to this Matcherino page, you can find the code. The code's on the side, as I've already done it. I can't do it again. But if you just hit contribute, you can sign in using your Google+, your Twitch, or your Twitter page. And if you do that, you type in the code right there, which is a four-letter or four-number combination. Let me just pull it up here so I can find out what it is. So you can type that in. Put in a little bit of a message if you want, as you're on my screen. But yeah, type that in. And then you can click donate. Granted, I've already done it, but you can get your name on there. And if you guys want to, you can also donate a little bit more using your own, as we have some fantastic rewards. You can get your name on the supporters wall, a coaching session with the legendary Mio Micah, an amazing player. Coaching session with Hunter X. Replay pack by Mio Micah. Even more Mio Micah. This guy is popular. You can get Tenchi, one of the best StarCraft 2 amateur casters there is to cast a replay of yours. A land crate for $24, an Antlion Mod Mic 5 for $70, or just a $35 donation will get you a Gamester Gear PC200 gaming headset. So some amazing rewards here if you want to support the Southeast Asia participants, if you want to keep this event going for a long time, because this is an amazing event. This is grassroots. These guys are awesome. They put a lot of work into this, and it's all worth it in the end to see all these amazing players get their comeuppance, get shown off to the region and the world. And it's just a good time for everyone. And the reason I'm telling you all this is, again, technical delays. So I apologize for that. Nothing we can really do when the servers decide they do not want to work. Trying to get that in here. Yours is having a little bit of a problem getting back in. So once he's in, we're going to get right into our next map, which as I've said is Ascension to Ire, an old classic. Yep, Ascension to Ire will be in the next map. We might take a couple seconds break here while we get this going underway. So we'll see you guys in a second. We're going to go to, once again, a short break. So thank you guys for tuning in so far. I'm Passer. This is the SEA Open Team League. And we will see you guys very, very soon. Actually, never mind. You'll see me soon because I'm sticking around. He's back. So we're just gonna hop right into it. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopping into game number 3. 3, 2, 1. So, bringing up the team for SYF. It is the legendary Hut. And once again, looking for the all kill. It is 1F Pros, yours. So it does look like we're going to be seeing a gas first, which is one of the more popular builds these days for Terran players, making sure that you can get out that later stage tech. and be safe from the aggression that Zergs can really do on this map. This is one of the ones, you know, it's been around a couple seasons, so people have it a bit more figured out than, say, some of the newer maps. So it's going to be interesting to see what Hut decides to do here, trying to derail yours. It does not look like Cheese is really in the options here for him. He's going to look to play a bit more straight up, it seems, just because we don't see any SCVs on the map. We don't see any proxy builds, and yours does not know if there are any on the map either. So the game is completely underway at this point. And there we go, we do see that one Reaper Fast Expand, which has been around since the beginning of Legacy of the Void, even longer. I feel like it's very popular, very popular, very quickly. And this is one of the big things about Gas First. It does allow you to get that factory out a lot quicker, but it also allows you to get that reactor just as quick, so you can get those Hellions out lickety split, making sure that you can get across the map and get some damage done versus your opponent, because as the Terran player, you really do have to get damage done. You gotta make sure that your opponent is spending his minerals and his larva on lings instead of getting those drones, because once he gets up to that later stages, when he can get 70 drones up and just focus completely on units, then you're going to be in a bit of trouble if you're not prepared as the Terran player. It's really good to kind of delay that stage of the game, get your own economy up, get your own units up, and yeah, once you get onto 3 base economy, it really starts to swing in your favor as the Terran player, I feel, until the later stages of the game when the Zerg can get that hive tech out. Hellions are on the way. And we do see that tech lab as well, whether it is for a Raven, which has just been, I can't say nerfed, or let's just say changed, due to it's now a support unit for mech play, as it has lost a lot of its offensive abilities in favor of some more defensive support roles. Nothing coming out just yet. Gonna get a Viking, gonna start cleaning up those overlords that are coming across the map. Just matching up all your builds. And Hut effectively now does have map control. It's not really looking to do too much damage. It seems like he is just gonna go home here. Probably worried about a run by coming, as his wall is not complete yet. It's always something you gotta worry about as the Terran player. You're out on the map with pretty much all your units, and the run-bys can be very powerful if you're not in position. Yours even getting supply block there for a second, it looks like. But now the Hellions are out in full force. We see a Liberator coming on the way. Cloak is being researched, but that's more of a false flag. Going to try and throw yours off track, and one queen does go down, so that's a nice pick off so far. Even a couple more Hellions coming in here. They're all in the same control group, I'm guessing. And that actually is a lot of Hellions here so far. Finally, we do see the cancel, and this is an old style build, probably a little bit changed around, but I remember this from the beginning of Legacy of the Void, where you get a lot of Hellions, you get some Liberators to zone out the queens. Have to see if it's very effective. As so far all the links go down with all the units dead. He's just going to move straight into the main base. All these drones are going to go down. So far, good micro from Hut. Going to try and get those juicy shots. And a whole mineral line does go down for the cost of a couple of Hellions. Where is that Liberator at? It is not on the other side of the map just yet. But that run by was very nice. Even just more denied mining time here. for the time being. Actually, there it is. One Liberator there, one Liberator going into the main base. Drones falling like flies. Yours is in a bit of a trouble here. So very nice aggressive play coming out of our player Hut. Losing the Liberator, but it's done its work. It's done very nicely. It's bought the time needed to get that 5 racks economy up. And this is, again, where Terran gets very scary. Can't really fall behind as the Zerg player. And yours has been missing injects. Take a look at his larva count. He doesn't have any, and he's not really making too much other than drones. So this next push that can come out of Hut at any time is just going to be so good. Looking to counteract that, he's going to be going up to that infestation bit. Probably going to try and get some juicy Fester shots. But Hut just kind of playing it defensive so far, making sure he doesn't make any misstep that can cost him this game. Now looking to move out with 2 tanks, so a very nice push. And even getting the watchtowers. Yours looking to swing around, probably try and get some work done. But yeah, the economy out of Hut is just so good that I'm really worried about what's going to happen here. Stim is completed, combat shields is done as well. +1 is going to complete before this attack really starts doing the damage. Those tanks in a good position. Gonna clean up a lot of these lings. The queen's just now getting close. A lot of transfuse energy, but the focus fire is pretty darn good. Really wants to get those high energy queens to prevent injects. But now it does look like Hut does have to get out of here for right now. So a couple of queens, not too much damage done, but it did force a huge swell of lings. And at this worker count, you really want some more before you can start doing that. Fourth base going to be under fire. If you're just going to sacrifice the tanks, get a little bit more damage done. As this double drop is going to move towards the main base. Yours has sniffed it out, so he's going to be ready for it. And that is going to be picked off immediately, but Hut still being really annoying with this drop right here, down here. Those 2 medevacs can make him fight with the queens very nicely. But he does have to back out of here too. Even just going to clear up a lot of creep. So Hut is really going to keep his opponent back for quite a bit. Adrenal glands on the way as well, +2. So really yours, he pretty much has to defend until he can get that Ultralisk tech out. For the time being, it does look like, though, Hut does get vision of all this. The lair, actually the hive wasn't even spotted yet, so that might go in yours' favor here. But Hut starting to lose quite a bit with these drops. You definitely have to be a lot more careful with them in terms of losing, because if you don't take an even engagement with the Zerg, he will just get to the stage in the game, like I was saying, where he can just focus on units, get that larva up, and pretty much just be very hard to kill in the later stages of the game. Keep in mind as well, there are no Hydralisks on the map, so this is just pure Ling. How that will affect the outcome is yet to be seen. Centrifugal hooks gonna finish up here in a second. A full surround is on the way here for yours. That's lovely. Yep, the small run by is gonna try and get something done. Picks off the reinforcements, but trying to get a little bit more. A bit greedy as this drop gonna come in. Needs to start focusing things down there, paying attention to it. But he does get out of there with almost everything. and just going to move to this side of the base, forcing yours to keep a small chunk of units at home to defend. But he does clean pretty much most of this up. These are now, as some casters call them, cracklings. They've got those upgrades that make them very, very powerful once they get on top of your units. Very difficult to stop. But Hut, he's not going to stop. He's got that 4 base economy going to the point where he can actually just keep pushing and keep his opponent back. On his side of the map, he's got to be careful here. A lot of banelings on the way. These hits could be very juicy. This is actually going to get cleaned up here before too much is said and done. Creep is going to be spread as well. Those Ultralisks don't really have a huge answer for him at the moment. It's pretty much just pure bio as Chitinous is about to complete. And this is starting to get a little bit hectic here for Hut, you know. He does have that economy, he does have that army, he is able to reinforce a lot quicker, but he didn't really start getting the answer until pretty late. You know, he's starting to get that triple Liberator production, but it's gonna be a bit difficult here as we do see the lair coming up for Corruptors. Once those Corruptors get up, you have to be careful where you siege up your Liberators. Hut's aggression might actually be the end of him here, as he does have to be a bit more careful with his units for the time being. Drop gonna go for the main base, as another push is gonna go for the 5th of yours. One moment, please. But here we go. He's gonna try and get in here, sieged up with 1 tank. This isn't going to do too much. Small run by out of yours. Going to do damage as well, as we have a bit of a disconnect here. That was very odd, but yours actually just going to run into the main army here. As these medevacs start to fall 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah. Liberator is going down as well, trying to get a little bit of extra damage there with him. But yeah, yours is starting to get into that one position where Zerg can really feel comfortable. He's got so much going for him right now. Getting a queen, that's okay-ish. You don't really see too much else coming out of Hut. He's just sticking with his guns here with this strategy of his. And again, he just has to keep backing off because he doesn't really have the support necessary, as those Corruptors in the sky just do so well. A lot of the Marauders getting taken out here, as well as the rest of his army. 15 workers going down as well. GG is called yours. Game point for our friends at 1F Pro. Yours is looking unstoppable today. And I think you guys will agree that he might actually just go for the all sweep and bring his team into the finals. Let's get him another juicy little crown here. But yep, exciting games here, guys. And don't forget, we have a doubleheader tonight. So after these games at I believe it's 8:30 p.m. Singapore time. So if you can translate that to wherever you are in the world, first of all, I applaud you, because it takes me like 3 Google searches before I can do that. Which is why I'm here at 5:45 a.m. at casting. But having a little bit of an issue here, making sure that everyone is ready to go. But yeah, we'll have to see if the next player from SYF can actually do the all sweep and take out yours and get his team's honor back for him. Still losing a little bit of connectivity here, as it looks like we lost illusory. Rip. There we go. Everyone is starting to get back in. Don't worry, guys. We still have plenty of StarCraft left for you tonight. We're not going to let a little thing like bad servers destroying everything happening. And let us see who is the last player for SYF. It is going to be 1F Pro's Wally. A little bit of a double agent here, it looks like. But it will be Abyssal Reef here for this fourth game. As we update everything once again, make sure everybody knows what they're getting into if you guys are just tuning in. A little bit of pre-game banter while we get this thing underway. Abyssal Reef is our map, and looks like yours is looking to finish things off. Can he do it, guys? Post your predictions in the chat if you want. Let us know what's going on. If you guys love what you're seeing here tonight, make sure you let the guys at SCA Open Team League know, and as well as our sponsors. We do need a second here for one of our players. He has requested a quick pause. But just gives us a second to talk, guys. With a 3-minute delay. Not the best for answering questions in chat. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in so far. If you are just tuning in, I'm Passer. If you don't know me already, that's probably a good thing. Save yourself, run away very, very far. And yeah, we're in the semifinals. Very last game, possibly. Match point for 1F Pro. 2 1F Pro players are playing right now, but one of them is that double agent. If you see me looking over to the side here on the camera, I'm just trying to see what everyone's saying, making sure there's no problems in the stream so far. And Wally's ready. A little bit of a lobby bug here going on for me. I can't see anything. But we are going to hop into game, guys. You could probably hear that in the background. The ominous game start noises. So, will this be the last game? Will yours pull out all the stops, give us the last game of his career, and absolutely wreck Face? Or will his teammate destroy him? We'll have to see as we're hopping into game. Abyssal Reef spawning in the bottom corner. He is not mine, he's yours. And his opponent, also 1F Pro, but today playing for SYF. The Shark really likes him for some reason. We'll have to see why. Because he's the apex predator. It's Wally. Sporting that awesome clan tag. Both players. Same builds. Maybe just a little bit faster on one. So we are going to be in an epic game, it looks like. I'll have to see who has the better aggression here. As you guys know, those Ling battles, especially in the early game where you don't have speed, can be very hectic on a player, especially in their multitasking. Yours has already shown us what he's got tonight, but we haven't seen much out of Wally, mainly because yours has been destroying everything. So both players, once again, just going to be doing the very safe expansions behind this, making sure that they stay ahead economically. Yours just getting his a little bit quicker here, as Wally moves out on the map. And they will meet in the middle. They are actually spotted at around the same time. So will they just decide to meet right here? It does look like the first engagement will happen here, as Wally is outnumbered until he gets his reinforcements. Small pokes going down on each side, as Wally is the first to be driven back to his own reinforcement line. Yours cannot overextend here. He's only up by 1 in army supply, and with Lings that does not mean much. But the engagement has gone down. Good micro out of Wally, actually going to clean up everything here of yours. So great little micro moves here, making sure that everything goes his way. He's very bruised up, but there's just not much at home for yours once again. This queen could do a lot of damage to these guys as they're starting to regenerate. But Wally committed to this a lot more heavily than yours did. And that seems to have won him at least a small victory for the time being, but not going to really press his luck. He's going to get out of here and go back home. Yours is going to get a big worker lead behind this. It's got to be careful though. Does not want to go too far down that ramp. Really does not want to let Wally up it either. But Speed is about to finish Wally. Starting to look like he's a bit all in with this. No workers on the way at all. And, oh boy. This is actually going to be difficult for yours to defend. There's no wall. There's no speed on the way. He's even going to send some Lings around. Can't really do that too much. Got to be very careful, but here we go. It is spotted. Now, does he decide to evacuate the low ground, or is he just going to try and defend? It does look like he's getting the queen's position for the run by. We'll have to see. Is yours micro on point? Drones are being pulled. All the Lings go down relatively quickly. No transfuse energy just yet on any of the queens. They will start to go down here very, very quickly. Really getting your money's worth for him, though. All they have to do is buy time for these 12 Lings to come out, but it's not looking very good. 13 drones going down. Doesn't put him at much of a deficit here, but spine crawlers now on the way. Oh man, this is not looking good for yours. Has Wally pulled it back? Drones are starting to fall. That second base is going down. Nice all kill, mate. Oh no. He's getting cocky. Gotta be careful. GG is called. So Wally the traitor bringing SYF back into it. As we're back in offline mode. Just take care of this real quick. I don't know why wire is going. But there you have it, guys. It is not an all kill for yours. And now all Wally has to do is get through 3 more players. And then we go to the ace match. This is a best of 7. So we are still on match point for this. Let me see if I can find... Yeah, we'll put that as the crown. But we are now finally into the new maps. We have Blackpink first. A very interesting map design-wise. Like, it's very, very strange to look at. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I haven't really played enough games on it to really understand it, but you know, it's kind of one of the newer ones. Blackpink is pretty interesting. I think Neon Violet Square is one of the most interesting, just because you do have those ramps that have the blockers in them. Those big purple ones, they actually do block. And if you guys have played on it a bit, you've seen how your units kind of go in a line because they can't actually get through in a big clump. I would love someone to try and do bendings there and then realize it does not work that way. And we're just waiting for one more guy to get into this lobby before we get underway. So I'm just kind of taking a look at the map here, trying to get a better understanding of it. It's always good to know what the map is before you actually start trying to talk about it. But yep, we have a PvZ coming up here by Stork, the Protoss player, versus Wally, the indomitable Zerg, who took down the reigning champion. Yours taking down Crimson, Mighty Kiwi, and the indomitable Hut for SYF, and then falling to Wally. Then we got Stork looking to finish things off, but here we go. It's finally time to see the biggest changes here for this patch, as we have our first Protoss player of the night. We're hopping right in the game, guys. There we go. Just loading in. Just give us a sec. Spawning up here in the top, it is SYF Gaming's Wally. And his opponent, the challenger, the match point king of the world, it is Stork. A little bit of banter going on between these guys. Always fun to see how close this region is. A lot of the players know each other, play against each other a lot, and it's very fun to see. These guys have the greatest bants. If you've never heard Australian banter, you need to. It has really changed my life in terms of what I call people on the street. Also, never call people what I call people on the street. You will get hit, especially if you're in America. But we see we got a little bit of a fast expand build coming out of Biostork. He's going to throw down his Nexus, try and get his economy going, as we see Wally going for that hatch first. The relatively safe economic build. And now we get to talk about Protoss a little bit. If you guys haven't seen this just yet, you can see that the energy bar is back. Don't worry, it's not for photon overcharge or anything like that. Basically, those abilities are Mass Recall and Chrono Boost. The old Chrono Boost is back, giving 100% of a building's production time for the cost of 10 seconds of your life. And it's really there to kind of help out with the removal of the mothership core. As you all know, the mothership core, there for one expansion, has decided to retire for the time being, and the only one you'll see is the mothership later on in the game if we get that far. We do see as well that we got some adepts on the way. Those have not changed, however. Those are still the annoying, the amazing, the possibly female. Never tell with all that armor. But he will be moving across the map. And Biostork actually going to be going for a Twilight Council. So we'll have to see what route he decides to go off that. Stalkers did recently get that buff, so Blink Stalker is a big possibility, as it is a lot more powerful than it was before. I've seen a lot of players deciding to do so. But it does look like it is going to be a Glaives build, so very interesting that we have not seen extra gateways going down for the time being. Kind of wondering what is going on here, but we should see a gateway explosion here in a moment. And there we have it. 2 more gates coming down. Overlord gonna come in and scout out everything. But the big problem is he doesn't really know what's going to be going on here. There are 3 possibilities. That Glaives one has not been super used in a while, so he might not be thinking that. He might instead, with the addition of the Stalker, be thinking some sort of blink play, quite possibly. But Wally, so far, is just going to throw down that Baneling Nest. Is going to be played a bit safe. Banelings obviously are the counter to Adepts, if you can get them in the right amount. You do need a fair bit of them, but if you can get that number, then you're going to be good. And try and get in here, get a good scout, but he does not see it just yet. Battery shield on the way as well to prevent any sort of run by. These things are very powerful while they have energy. It allows you to defend so much easier as the Protoss player than even the mothership core did, I believe. But next warp in of Adepts, and this should be the signal for Biostork to go, especially with the addition of the Warp Prism. This will not get spotted, so that's very nice, but the Warp Prism does. He's getting picked off here. Wally, a little bit out on the map, needs to get those Banelings up and ready to go. The Adept gonna come in here, snipe a Queen pretty much for free, but 7 workers going down to this Baneling drop. Very nice counterplay out of Wally. And he's gonna come in here, not getting too much, it looks like, as the Adepts are in a good position. Warp Prism in the main base, just gonna keep warping in, be annoying as he can be. Picks off the Queen once again. 11 workers dead, but the number of drones is starting to rise. Good connection is going to help out with the defense a little bit. But once again, the Biostork is just all over the place. Another warp in of Adepts. Even just going to pick those up and get out of there, but he's done the damage he needs. Game has pretty much swung heavily into his favor. As you can see, it's 24 to 40 workers. And it does not look like Bystork is done just yet. That Overlord is just hanging out there. The Adept's getting taken out, however, so Wally is able to defend for the time being. Will he be able to get back up to that dominant worker count is the big question. It's going to be very difficult because once you fall behind, it obviously does start to get very difficult, especially at this high stage of the game. Third base is complete as well. Those shield batteries are going to make it so hard to get any kind of counter damage done. This is a stalker's wet dream right here. You have small engagements going on here and there. These Adepts getting picked off by the Banelings. Wally not really having a really good answer to them just yet. 4 more drones going down. He's setting up for more drops, it looks like, and he really wants to get those off because he's starting to fall behind. Not starting, but he's been falling behind for quite a bit. 8 more drones going down, however. Making those Banelings connect on absolutely nothing. That is a really good play with that Warp Prism, and Bystork just going to keep the pressure on and keep it going. Overlords setting up for the drops. Question is Bystork going to be paying attention at home? He's got a massive Adepts coming here. He wants to get those Banelings before they make any sort of connection. And again, not very good hits. Just gonna pick off the Queens. I'm really worried for Wally's sake, as even more workers going down. 8 going down on a small drop in there. This one coming in. It does look like Bystork is paying attention now. He can afford to change things up. The Adept, 40 drones going down. I think that is going to be it for Wally. Bystork has done it for 1F Pro. And yeah, Protoss has been getting much better recently, I feel. Seen a lot of it, especially in the higher stages of the game. But GG is called. Bystork. He's your champion, and 1F Pro behind him. So 1F Pro Gaming is going to take the series 4-1. For the night, and they will move on to the finals, which I believe is next week, if I am correct. As I DC once again. So I'm going to fix this disconnect by ending the task, hitting play, and yeah, 1F Pro showing how dominant they are. Yours, one of the guys that you see him on a lot of streams, I gotta say. Like, I've seen him play so many good players on so many different streams. That just shows his practice regime is very intense. He is very dedicated to this game. And with that, we are going to take a 20-minute break, guys, getting ready for that next series of the day. That one is going to be an epic one as well. Varun versus Bear Me, which has some of the best in the region. And yeah, that'll be it for me for a little bit. I will see you guys in approximately 20 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you once those games start. Stick around.